Welcome to Python for Data. We'll turn raw rows into a clear story using Python, one small skill at a time. I'll use simple free defaults, plain Python, CSV files, and lightweight scripts in this sandbox. Before the first file appears, what do you think a data analyst must do first when given a messy spreadsheet? Calculate totals immediately or inspect what the data contains and why? Phase 1 is simple. Before trusting numbers, we inspect the spreadsheet like opening a package before using what's inside. Watch the raw data file. This is the source every Python script in this phase will read. All right, let's walk through this idea together and keep it grounded in the analogy. Here is the part beginners often rush past. A CSV looks like a spreadsheet, but Python only sees plain text rows until we teach it what the rows mean. Think of sales.csv as a box of receipts, and our first script as the person who opens the box, checks the labels, and peeks at a few receipts before doing math. If the first row is a header row, why would treating it like a normal sale make the analysis wrong? Our first worked example is a tiny inspection script. It opens the receipt box, reads the header labels, counts the rows, and prints the first few records without doing any math yet. I'm using only Python's built-in CSV tool, so there is nothing heavy to install. Your turn. After the script appears, predict whether the blank cells in sales.csv will crash the script or print as empty text, and why. Look at the highlighted doorway. Open exclamation gives Python access to the file, and csv.dictReader turns each row into a small dictionary where column names become keys. The tricky idea is that reading data is not the same as understanding it. This script only gathers clues. Predict before we run it. Will the blank cells crash this script, or will they print as empty text strings? Exactly. Strong prediction. Watch the terminal now. We'll use the real output as evidence because data work is not guessing. It is making a claim, running it, and checking what actually happened. Your prediction matched the evidence. The blank units value printed as 00, which means empty text, not a crash. Notice the deeper lesson. CSV reading preserves the raw text first, and cleaning comes later when we decide what those blanks should mean. Tiny hands-on check. In the terminal output, compare the first row's units value 10 with the second row's units value 00. If we tried to add those two values as numbers right now, what problem would Python run into? Watch the exact moment the hidden problem appears. Reading the blank was fine, but converting blank text into a number is like asking a cashier to total an empty receipt line. Okay, let's focus on that error message and what it reveals about empty values. The important line is value error, invalid literal for int with base 10, 00. Python can read an empty CSV cell as text, but it cannot magically turn empty text into a number. That is why phase 1 is inspection, not calculation. We are finding the places that will break later. Your turn. Type python-c, print float 60 plus float 00 in the terminal. Run it and tell me the final error line you see. That terminal highlight landed on the earlier row output, not your new hands-on run yet. Your turn. Type python-c, print float 60 plus float 00 in the terminal. Press enter and tell me the final error line you see. That result is exactly the point, and it is normal for this to feel a little slippery at first. The CSV reader safely carries blank cells as text, but math conversion refuses to pretend blank text is a number. Focus on the empty quotes at the end of the error. That is the tiny clue data analysts learn to trust. Gentle check. In this data set, should 00 mean a missing value we must investigate, or should Python automatically treat it as 0? Good. Your explanation points to the real cause. The empty cell is not 0. It is missing information. Watch the error line itself. This is the clue that tells us phase 2 will be about cleaning before we trust any totals. Look at this row in sales.csv. 2 commas touch each other in the unit's position. So the file is saying nothing was recorded here, not the value is 0. Tiny check. If a store report has a blank unit cell but revenue says 60, what real-world question would you ask before changing that blank to 0? Now the exact row is highlighted. South widget, 60, has a missing units value while revenue still says 60. In real data work, that is a mystery, not a number, like a receipt showing money collected but no quantity sold. What real-world question would you ask before changing that blank unit cell to 0?